Okay, well, it's 9 o'clock, so we'll call this regular meeting of the Commissioners Court to order here on the 8th day of June at 9 a.m. here at the Titus County Courthouse. Everybody arise for the invocation and the pledge.
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I just come to you thanking you, Lord, for all you do for us. Lord, we just ask you just to be with each and every one of us here this morning, and we thank you for the turnout we've got, and ask you just to help us to do what we need to do for the county today, Lord. And Lord, we just lift up our servicemen and women to you as we just help them, bring them home, Lord, safely. And Lord, just help us as we give us the wisdom that we need to do what is needed for the county. Just go with us now and forgive us where we fail. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Number 1, public comments and requests on information on non-agenda items in accordance with Section 551.042, the Texas Open Meetings Act. We have 2 speakers here today. Mr. Kenny Thompson, you'd like to come first?
Sir?
Would you like to speak?
Now?
Or you can wait till the agenda item if you'd like. If you'd like to wait till the agenda item?
Whatever's best. I'm not ready.
That'd be fine. We'll wait. It's just one away. Number 2, consider and possibly approve the minutes from the May 26th, 2026 special meeting of the Commissioners Court.
Make a motion, we approve them.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Parchman to approve the minutes from the special meeting.
Second.
A second by Commissioner Mitchell. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Carries unanimously. Number 3, consider and possibly approve appointing Bob Hourahan as a veterans. It says veteran officers will be an assistant for Titus County, including requirement training. I put this on there. I spoke with Judge Ransom over at Cass County. They have 3 officers over there, 2 assistants and an officer. We've had court here several months ago and made the agreement to get an officer out to the mom's ministry. They did get when I first come back into office, we did not have a veterans service officer at all. And I worked with them. There was concerns there was about being able to keep the privacy of our veterans intact, and that's very concerning to me and a big liability for the county. The mom's ministry out there has got a special designated room that there will only be 2 keys. One, who's the main person over the mom's ministry, which is not Kelly. The mom's ministry is a grant, but we have a gathering of our veterans there, and I think it'll be essential for us to have somebody there to handle those people there. Doug would still be in our office here to handle people that come in here or phone calls here. And so that's why I've got this on the agenda today. Like I said, I spoke with Cass County. They've got several different officers over there helping with grants as far as living assistance and things of those nature for the veterans. Our veterans are very important to us in this court. I think we made that evident when we did bring a VSO officer on, when we brought Doug on. I have had some emails. I've had a lot of good phone calls. I've had some phone calls saying, well, Mr. Hourahan's not trained yet. Well, no, he's not. But he's going to go get training. And Doug was not trained when we hired him on board, and he's done a good job as well. So now if you'd like to speak, Mr. Thompson, if you'd like to come up.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'm Kenny Thompson. I'm a member of...
If you'll pull that microphone down, I don't mean to interrupt you. That way everybody... Perfect.
Okay. All right, I'm Kenny Thompson, and I'm a member of the American Legion, Post 210 here in Mount Pleasant. An old veteran, and so since I've been in the Legion, Bob Hourahan has been my commander, and him being an old Air Force, retired Air Force person, he was very concerned about veterans' needs, and that's what I've noticed about him. And we, that's kind of our goal is to support veterans how they need it. We visit them at the, he's really good on wanting to visit all the old veterans in the nursing homes and help them out any way they need, and putting flags on all the veterans stones and in the cemeteries, and just really big supporter of veterans in general. And I'm just here to speak in his favor, because I do know that's kind of his number one concern is making sure our veterans are getting what they need. And you mentioned the building, and that's what I was going to bring up, that we've never had our own building. You know, Richard Witherspoon's been letting us meet in his big room at Herschel's for years, and we haven't had a building. A lot of you guys probably remember the old American Legion building up on Highway 67 back when we were all kids. But it's great to have our own building, and thanks to Kelly Cooper and Anthony, and what they've done down there is they've consolidated several veteran groups, and they're all in one building, and you can come there and get different services, and that would be a great place for our veteran service officer to be located where everybody would know. So I'm just here to speak for him, because I just know that he is really concerned about veterans, and so are we, all of us that belongs to the American Legion. But is that okay? That's it.
Thank you, Mr.
Questions?
Thompson. Appreciate it.
Judge and Commissioners, I guess a year or so ago, you all asked me to supervise, to absorb the veteran service officer within my office. I did that. Doug stepped up and has done just a tremendous job of doing that. We have served every veteran that has requested services. There's not been a veteran that hasn't been provided services in Titus County that's requested. Doug's done such a good job. We've actually had veterans from outside of Titus County coming. Doug has a unique skill set, and the reason why I hired him, he was an Army paralegal and has an understanding of Army regulations and how to read them, and it gives him a unique skill set, and it really was a great idea that the judge suggested Doug take it over, and he's just done a good job. With that said, Kelly has put together a tremendous facility and has big plans to help veterans, and I've been in touch with her a lot, and I'm very proud of her, and I'm very supportive of whatever she's doing. She has got a couple of veteran assistants, veteran service officers that are out there helping out. I think it would be a good idea if Jody and I talked about this, about having Doug here primarily, because he's here 40 hours a week. The veterans can just come in. Doug always drops what he's doing to either answer the question right then and there, or he can schedule an appointment with them. He has, like I said, a tremendous amount of technical knowledge that that gives him a unique skill set to do this job. So he's willing to continue to do it for the $500 a month. I don't know of a county in Texas that runs their veteran service office for $500 a month. That's unheard of. And it's just taking into consideration helping the veterans, but we also got to take into consideration the tax dollars expended to do it. And I think we came up with a good judge. Got to give him a lot of credit on this, because this was his idea to do it this way. And I don't think there's anything that's ever been done like that before. And it's been a good program. If y'all want to spend another $500, we're not talking about much money, another $500 to have Bob out there, I think that's a great idea. I think we can even help more veterans. So, and I've talked to Kelly about it. She's on board with everything. It will take some load off, so that way Doug doesn't have to go out there, because we were trying to figure out how to balance, his primary duties working in my office and also going out there and helping out there. So it was a balancing thing. We were trying to work through it as to what that looked like, and this scenario maybe just solves that. We don't have to try to worry about that. And now you will have to have the veteran service officer. You can only have one. I gave y'all a legal opinion. Y'all have read that, I assume. And you can have an assistant. You can have all the assistants you want, actually. And but from a realistic standpoint, when Bob gets his training, they'll have the exact same abilities either way. So, Doug would be the veteran service officer here at the courthouse, and then Bob would be the assistant, but they'd have the same ability to do the same things. So, seems like a good solution to the new scenario where Kelly's got this fantastic facility. Seems like a good scenario to solve the problem to me, if that's what y'all want to do. So that's, unless you have any questions.
Samuel?
I'm pretty much just going to echo what the other two gentlemen said. All us veterans, especially, I'm probably the youngest one at the post. I've been the youngest one at most meetings we go to. And having that building there, I think is going to be great for us. I think we'll be able to grow our numbers as well with the younger group, because the only reason I knew about it is because my grandfather, before he passed away, was a member, and you know, we met at Herschel's. So I was like, all right. And then we got this building. We got, it's definitely brought a lot more ideas from the entire American Legion on how to grow our numbers. I think everybody's been a lot more active. If we can get a assistant VSO there, that's going to help a lot more veterans. It's one of our pillars is to help veterans, and that's a great way to do it. And Doug's done great. I've worked with him on my stuff. So I wouldn't want to lose him as a primary. If we're putting Bob as an assistant, that's just more people we can help. So I think it's a great idea.
Thank you, Samuel. And we want to say, before we go too far, all of y'all's service means a lot to us, and we get the freedoms that we get today to have our courts and the things that we do today because of y'all, and thank y'all so much for your service. Doug, you want to speak?
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. I started as a veteran service officer a little over a year ago, and to me, you know, they mentioned $500 a month. That's not life-changing money, and it's never really been about the money. I do have a big heart for helping veterans, and as county attorney said, I have done my best to serve 100% of the veterans that come through the door. Now, you all have never required me to give any reports on the activity or whatever, and you know, I have no problem coming up here if that's what we want to make a regular thing. I did want to let you know that last quarter I had appointments with 51 separate veterans. Now, that does not mean 51 appointments. That's 51 individual veterans. A lot of them take 2 or 3 appointments to get through the whole process. That does not count all the phone calls, and that does not count all the people that walk in off the street. You talk to any employee on the first floor, they will tell you that, you know, they run into 3 or 4 veterans a week that are walking through the door looking for me. That just points that there is a big need for a veteran service office here in the community. And we need to do our best, whatever the best looks like, but we need to do our best to serve those veterans. And I have had people who've come into my office who still find information on the internet that the Veteran Service Office is located down in the basement and that our Veteran Service Officer is Steve Austin. I don't know exactly where these Google search engines are coming up with that, but it's been at the courthouse forever. I've tried to do a welcoming environment in mine, and like, you know, I said, I always drop what I do. If I can fix their situation right then, I go ahead and help them right then. If not, we make an appointment, we come back, and we explain the whole process. I do understand the process, not just for the disability, but there's also surviving spouse benefits, there's pensions, and there is a whole litany of services available to the veterans. So whatever you feel is best for the veterans, I echo it, that's the path that we must take to move forward.
Thank you, Doug. And like I said, we appreciate all you've done. And like I said, we've got to get our CJIS and all that up. John Mark knows that that's been going on. We did make an agreement with Mom's Ministry several months ago that we'd have him out there, or somebody out there, for about 20 hours at least once a month, and we hadn't been able to qualify for that. I think this solves our problem, but being able to do that as well, help veterans in both spots, so that's why it's on there today.
I wanted to reflect on the budget for the VSO office in relationship to this appointment. You can appoint assistant VSO at no pay as a volunteer, but I would need Doug to clarify if he's going to use any of the training money in that budget, because it hasn't been used yet this year, and whether or not those funds could be used to assist in training the assistant VSO, because they'll still need to have the training. And then since we're going into a budget cycle currently for fiscal year 2027, that would be the time to address. I didn't get a budget amendment for this, so I'm assuming that the time to address further compensation for assistants would be brought up during the budget workshop. Am I correct on that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so just to let you know, there is $1,500 in the budget currently. Once they determine what would be available, you could possibly start that training for assistant VSOs, and it's customary to have assistant VSOs, and I am very happy to see our county moving in that direction.
First of all, I'd like to thank Doug for what he's done, and he called me the other day on this thing on the agenda, and I think it was done wrong. I think he should have been told beforehand, and we all should have been together on this instead of just a few people. And this like this with out here at Mom's, you know, everything needs to be told to everybody, not just a few. This is the first time I've heard about it. And I just wish we'd be transparent about telling everybody. And Doug, I do appreciate it, and I feel bad that, you know, you thought you lost your job, and, you know, I apologize for that. And I hope you for the best. And I hope that if we do, help you the best. It was just done wrong. But I'm going to let you know that.
His job was never in jeopardy. Also, we voted on this as a commissioner's court to send someone out there once a month. Mr. Coburn said that he wasn't going to be able to go out there. We wasn't been able to work that out. So that's the reason that
I'm just saying it should have been explained in executive session what we was doing instead of just doing this what we did. We had no part in this, and it's getting where we're having no part in nothing, and we need to start being transparent. Thank you.
I want to say, with all due respect to Mr. Hourahan, I think Doug has done a fabulous job, and I think he needs to still be in there doing what he's doing today, and I have no problem with him, so I think we need to continue letting him be our veterans officer.
Once again, he will still be the veterans officer. We are hiring an assistant to him that would be available to go to Mom's. And it does say in there, officer, but it is an assistant officer. You can have as many assistants as you do want, and they do have in Cass County, they have several, and this would be Doug staying as the veterans officer and Mr. Hourahan being his assistant.
And this still go through my office, so it's done in my office, we can supervise all of them, make sure everybody's, up to date with everything on the lab. So that we can all report. That's great.
I think it'd be great.
I make a motion to appoint Bob Hourahan as Assistant Veteran Officer for Titus County, and also we would be required to send him to the proper training to be an Assistant Veterans Officer.
And this goes to John Mark's office.
Yes.
And also, I would suggest you get paid $500 on the same spot,
I agree with that also.
No, don't get me wrong, I love the veterans, do anything for them, but this court has got to be more transparent.
We've got a motion made by Commissioner Mitchell to approve the Veterans Assistant Officer as Bob Hourahan with training and pay of $500.
Second.
Second.
We can approve the stipend, that's what I was saying.
It's in the budget.
We can't approve a stipend for a position that's not in the budget.
There's still money in there, but that's fine. We'll start paying Bob in the next budget that's coming up this next week, and we'll fill that into that budget.
So
So
starting on 10/1?
10/1.
You want to make a motion to say?
Make a motion to start it on 10/1.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Parker.
I already seconded.
Okay.
Oh, did you?
Second by Commissioner Applewhite. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carries unanimously. Number 4, consider as a matter of record of executed internal agreement between Titus County and the City of Mount Pleasant, approved by the Commissioners Court on 2/10. We're going to have to table this until the next meeting because of some technical stuff with the city and paperwork, and we'll get back with that on Rob and get that on the next agenda. Number 5, consider and possibly approve engagement letter for Wilf Henderson PC and performing external audit with estimated court cost of $39,500, and that's for the county audit.
Judge, I think we need to have a motion and a second on there to table it.
Okay.
I know you made a motion, but you gotta have a second. You did make the motion, right?
Number 4.
And
Someone has to make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we table.
Motion made by Commissioner Parker to table it.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mitchell. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Carries unanimously. Number 5, that's Ms. Nanette considering the audit for external audit.
You guys approved Will and Anderson PC for the audit firm, so it's customary before the budget for them to send their engagement letter to be signed by the judge. So that's an agenda item to approve the signing of the actual engagement letter.
I make a motion, we approve the letter.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Parker to approve the letter. Second by Commissioner Parchman. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed. Number 6, consider and possibly approve the interlocal agreement between Camp County and Titus County regarding funding of the office for the district attorney with Chuck Bailey. This is something that me and Judge Mason have went out several years ago. We had some discrepancies on whether they were going to pay that or not, and we weren't paying the bill for a while. We got an interlocal worked out with them, and Judge Mason is good with this, and this is just so that we fund it, and it goes on population, doesn't go on how many cases, because it's kind of hard to rule on how many cases you're going to have in a year, but we do that on population, and Judge Mason is okay with that as well.
I make a motion to approve it.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Mitchell to approve the interlocal between Camp County and Titus County regarding the funding of the district attorney's office.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Parker. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Carries unanimously. Number 7, consider and possibly approve issuing credit cards to all elected and appointed officials.
I spoke with Commissioner Mitchell about this, and he said just go ahead and put it on the agenda. Right now, I believe the only elected officials that have credit cards are you commissioners. As we're going to, all these elected officials are going to school and doing the things that they need to do, they need to be able to reserve the credit card and take that credit card with them. When they get there, they have to put a credit card on file. You can't send a check anymore to these hotels, and a lot of these elected officials, they've got, you can't use a debit card, and some of them just do not want to use their personal card. I don't know what the reason is, but I'm just saying that it's becoming an issue. And I spoke with the auditor. She's okay with tying all these credit cards down for everybody, so it's not an issue on her end. And I'll, of course, before I would sign those checks, I'd double check them. I sent you a policy that they would have to sign when they get a credit card. If they choose to get one, they would have to choose to get one. Myself, I've just always used my own credit card and did everything, and then came back and got one reimbursement for every item. But we just have a lot that don't want to do that, and it's becoming an issue in the office. So I'm asking if y'all would, for the ones that would like to get a credit card, go ahead and be issued.
I think it's a nightmare with keeping up with all of it, and there's been some other counties that did get in trouble with things of this nature. I personally will not accept a credit card. I don't want a credit card from the county, and so therefore that's just my opinion.
I totally understand that, Judge Cooper. I myself, my name is on the county courthouse credit card, so unfortunately, that's the way the credit card companies are willing to issue them. They have to have an individual's name. That's why the commissioners each have their name on their credit card. It's just, unless we can go out and get, as we had researched earlier, what they call a procurement card for the county, where it's issued in the county and each person has a division underneath that card. And then when charges get done on the credit card that are issues, we spend hours tracking the charges on the county credit card because people are checking it out. So the issue for me is I take full responsibility with my name being on the credit card that I have to authenticate every purchase that's done on the county credit card and follow up on those. And we end up maxing out because everybody's checking out a card from the courthouse. So by issuing them to the elected officials who are appointed by the taxpayers of the county to manage the funds of the county in conjunction with my office, we've put strict guidelines into place. And this would prohibit employees, as we just recently had, with a charge put on their card because they do a holding charge now. So if you don't have a credit card when you go to a hotel, you put your own personal card on there that they're having to hold with. So it's really not because we want to issue these credit cards, it's because the institutions are forcing our hand in being able to accommodate the employees, because we cannot, like me, I use my own credit card. I never use the county credit card when I travel, and then I get reimbursed. But the majority of the employees here, they do not want to use their own personal credit card. So the only alternative we have is to empower an elected official with the responsibility of having a credit card in their name, and if their staff needs to travel or do something, then they administer the funds for that travel. And it just has really recently changed a lot in the last year. We've been pretty fortunate in being able to do those authorizations, but even when we're doing the authorizations now and authorizing the charges, when the employees get there, they're still demanding them give them a credit card with their name on them. And so that's the obstacle that we're having.
And also I'd like to add, if you read the policy, we've added a safeguard in there for the county. If you do not turn your receipt in within 30 days, we're going to take it out of your credit card. We're going to take it out of your paycheck. So we're going to give the county's money back. That way it doesn't cost the budget anything. So you have 30 days to take care of it all. So it's not going to be, where the county's losing any money on this.
And then I would like to ask the commissioners, we've issued your cards to you personally within the last couple of years, I would say. Has it facilitated you in being able to make a small purchase or being able to get gas in your truck if you're traveling to a conference, to be able to pay for your hotel, pay for your conference fees? Is it facilitating you, or is it more of a hindrance for you? Because you're kind of the first level of doing this type of a process.
I have no problem with it.
I don't have a problem with it. It's been working for me, since we have them. And I don't use mine unless I absolutely have to. And like I say, y'all do a very good job of keeping up with all the records of the paper trail and everything. So I think it's a good idea. It's a handy
I
little.
mean, if you were at Tractor Supply and you didn't get something, and we've had those instances where they won't do the PO or they won't do things, you can just get it, you turn that receipt into us, and we reconcile your credit card statements, you all sign off on those credit card statements as a standard function. So it would be the same, it would just be each elected official would be, and we would retain those credit cards. Now, that's the way they did it in another county. We could retain the credit cards for a office that wanted to check it out whenever they were going to travel home.
Well, I think everybody, elected officials are responsible for that.
I feel they are as well, that if there's a big...
That's the way we started with the commissioners. Y'all had to go check your own credit card out. And I don't think
Yeah,
that's...
and that didn't help a whole lot when we were having to do that, because, like I say, they were working on one of my trucks out at the maintenance farm, and they needed something, but we didn't have there wasn't a vendor, in other words, and so we were able to take that card and get the part that we needed to get the truck back up and going. So it's helped in that instance too. I don't use mine unless it's a case like that, or unless I'm going off school. So
And normally you communicate that with our office.
Yes,
We
yeah,
normally make a decision that, go ahead and do that to expedite the process. Many times we will give you a tax exempt certificate to that vendor, so we
Yeah.
don't charge taxes. And
yes.
we work with you guys, and I found after we issued the cards, it worked easier, because used to you had to check them out when you needed them.
Mr. Colburn, let's say bad case scenario, we get an officer that has been elected by the people and goes to spending money on that credit card. How do we go about getting that back? Do we have to sue them? How does that process work?
I was just thinking about that, as far as how we do it with the military. I have a government credit card that I keep on my wallet. And, I think the treasurer, we can recruit the money that way. We need to come up with basically some terms for everybody to sign, so they understand, that they use it, that we're going to take the money, that it could potentially be criminal. If they go out and, go to Vegas on it, we won't have a problem. So we're going to refer that to prosecution.
But that's what I'm talking about. What process? Would you be the prosecuting attorney on that? We'd have to have lawyers coming in. Be a lot of expenditure is what I'm thinking.
I think it would be, you and I probably look at it on a case by case, if it's an accident. If you look at some things like that, a misunderstanding of the terms of the use of the card, basically they need to be on county business. It needs to be a county expense, or it needs to be on county business, and it needs to be clear. And if it's serious enough, if it's a lower level, if we feel like this was an abuse and we want to prosecute, we would, depending on the level, if they went and bought a $10,000 item on their government card, then, that would be a felony.
We would need a 10,000 limit on that.
That's a good thing, yeah. We would do limits as well. But I don't think there's a limit on mine that I'm aware of on my government card, so this does come up. So that's something that you just brought up, you put a limit or something. I'm with them. I don't think, I think if everybody understands, this has been a problem for all of y'all. We've been back and forth on this over the years. So issue to the elected officials is a reasonable solution. I agree with the Treasurer Law. That's good.
So still, it could cost us some money if we had to go after one of them. And if we do take their money out of their check, you can't just take the money out of their check without having a hearing or something of that nature.
Well, what we do is
I'll ask Mr. Golden.
yeah, I think that's the solution is that we, in order to sign to use the credit card, they understand that they can take out their check and it's handled properly. The question is, only elected officials with the card? Okay, so employees
Our appointed officials.
So So they need to understand that. So, I can see elected officials giving to somebody in the office and handle this, and they abuse it outside of the elected officials, so that they would be responsible, understand that. So,
Or at a Home Depot in Rockwall or something of that nature.
we just need to come up with a good term, a good document for everybody to sign, so they understand. Maybe we need some training.
I think it just puts the county at a big liability, giving that many credit cards out across the county, but
I make a motion we approve.
motion made to approve by Commissioner Applewhite,
Second.
second by Commissioner Parchman. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carries unanimously. Number 8, approve oral and written reports of the county officials.
I make a motion to approve.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Mitchell to approve the reports in the county officials.
Second. Jeff.
Second by Mr. Parchman. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carries unanimously. Number 9, consider and possibly accept the treasurer's report as a matter of record.
Make a motion, we accept it.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Parchman to accept the treasurer's report.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mitchell. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carries unanimously. Number 10, approve budget amendments. We don't have any today. Number 11, sign the pay orders and approve the payments.
Make a motion we pay our bill.
Got a motion made by Commissioner Parker to pay the bills.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Mitchell. All those in favor? All those opposed? Number 12, closing comments.
I have none.
I'd like to first off congratulate Rick Zachary on his win on the Commissioner Precinct 4 and look forward to working with him. And I appreciate Mr. Hourahan about what you want to do, and I appreciate what you are going to do. And I appreciate Nanette Willoughby, getting selected again for our auditor, and she does a great job and keeps us out of trouble. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Same thing.
That being said, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Got a motion made to adjourn by Commissioner Mitchell.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Parchman. All those in favor? All those opposed? We'll adjourn at 9:37.